Good morning. I am super excited to have you today. This is just a chat. Just grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and I want to chat with you. I am doing a collaborative video series with a whole bunch of amazing moms again, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about homeschooling and our lives. This is not my normal video. My normal video is a vlog, so we do family vlogs just like we did our kids opening our homeschool books. That was really amazing for you to see them and their books. My husband and I are both full-time, work from home, and this creates a very interesting dynamic because we are both homeschooling the kids. Me a little more than Jim, but both of us. Two at-home parents who are completely involved with the kids. And I work sometimes traveling, so homeschooling gives us a huge flexibility to leave on a Friday or come back. It makes it super nice for the kids to be around both their parents all the time. And after the COVID-19 shutdown and all the schools closed and everybody went to virtual homeschooling, I had tons of people call me and say, how do you homeschool? How do you do this? So homeschooling is different than COVID quarantine homeschooling. And I want to say this because a lot of people gave homeschooling a bad rap. They thought that homeschooling was being trapped in their house with their kids with a computer screen where they had to basically monitor their kid and make sure their kid was doing what a teacher said who was not used to homeschooling, was not used to that dynamic. It was not fair for the teachers involved. The teachers were basically thrown into a dynamic that they were not ready for, and the kids were not prepared for, and then the parents, again, were having to deal with non-preparation and adjusting to make their homes fit, but it was not optimal. When you homeschool and you're planning it out, you create an atmosphere that is going to be beneficial for your family and for your kids. We chose Seton Home Study School because I like Seton. I like the way the books come in. I like the way that each curriculum is designed for each kid and that they grade the work, they keep the grades, they send it to me. I love that. I think it's super. So that is a big reason why we like Seton. I also like that it's flexible. So if we do a Saturday to Friday or anything in between, if we do extra work or less, we can adjust our weeks. So it really makes it amazing because sometimes we'll do more work and then take a week off and go visit family. We have a lot of family across the country. We have 36 school weeks with Seton, and that is usually standard. I think that when we did one other curriculum, it was 32, but you need to get those 36 weeks in. That does not include your field trips. If you do field trips, we do a lot of field trips. Unlike quarantine schooling, we go and join homeschool groups. We go and do museum trips, aquariums, times out. There are field trips everywhere. We've been into power plants, we've seen manatees. There are so many amazing ways to tie homeschooling into going out and giving your kids the best experience they can have. So I wanted to highlight that that is a huge difference from the quarantine schooling, and the fact that if you're choosing a homeschool curriculum, you're going to choose something that's optimal for the at-home setting, and you're not forcing a teacher who had planned an entire year completely designed to optimize in-classroom learning for a large group of kids to completely adjust her schedule and create something on the spot. So lots of families are looking at homeschooling, and these are things that I have found. This has been my experience. I'm sure you're gonna listen to other moms and they'll have other things, but just 5 things. First of all, it's not easy overnight. So your kids may not wanna get up, they may not wanna do their work, they may say their work's done, and it's not. That is every mom that I've ever met, every dad who homeschools, this is something you have to deal with. So when kids go to school, the teacher makes sure they do their work. And if they don't, they get a letter home and then you go over it. So since there's no middleman, there's no teacher, you have to make sure they do their work. You have to check it off. I like printing their lesson plans by week from Seton. And I saw another mom who said she likes to put them on clipboards every week so that they have them along with their chores. I think that's fantastic. And it helps you to stay on top of it. So you don't realize 10 weeks from now that Johnny didn't do any math, or Carrie decided she's not gonna read her book, and then you're scrambling. So that's tip number 1, stay on top of it. Tip number 2, if you can't take Fridays off, take Fridays off. So I don't mean not school at all on Fridays, but if you can do your seat work, I've been really happy that all of my kids have been able to do a 4-day education week. So we do all of our seat and work in 4 days. And then on day 5, which is the Friday, is a field trip or homeschool group day. Maybe we're at a park, maybe at a museum. We have done so many different activities. So I like to have that 5th day as something where we go out. And it's good for you as the parent teacher because you get to connect with other parents who are homeschooling, and having that support system is the big difference in between COVID schooling and not COVID schooling. I have some really amazing moms in our area that homeschool, and we support each other, and our kids love being around other kids. My kids were super upset that they couldn't be a part of their homeschool group or a part of field trips. I mean, even if it's going to a dairy farm or a day at the beach, those are all things that really help your kid to grow. And depending on what area you're in, if you're in like the DC area, you can do history museums every single week. And these are great things for your kids. So I highly recommend 4 days of academics, 1 day hands-on learning. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love connecting with other parents and having that support system and friends for your kids, which is really important. Don't overdo activities when you're first starting. I know that it seems like you're going to have a lot more time. So what I've seen with some parents is that they think, oh, now that I in fact don't have my kids in school, I can sign them up for volleyball and piano and acting and dance. And they end up with activities every single day of the week, and it's completely too much. So the schooling amount may not change, but you're taking out the time in the car, but take it slow. 1 activity per kid per season. So if it's fall, if they're doing soccer or volleyball or that sort of thing, and if you want to throw in a music item, piano, a constant, fine. But bogging the kid down with too many things, they are going to struggle. So make sure that you don't overdo it, especially if you are starting in high school. Veronica's going to be in 9th grade this year. We want to make sure that she is successful academically. So keeping the activities in check and making sure you're still having fun, they're still getting around people, but yet they are not overwhelmed. Is keep up on your grading, don't fall behind. So if you have to grade papers, keep them graded because you don't want to realize that your child did not get a concept later on. And it can be really easy to get behind in grading and see that there was a major problem. So if you can grade every day or at least at the end of each week, that is really great. And if you see they have a problem, reach out for help. So if it's something you can't address, like say your kid is in algebra or geometry, don't be afraid to ask another parent. The homeschool parents are usually really excited about co-oping and doing things together. Veronica has a math tutor. It's a fellow mom who homeschools her daughter, and she goes to her house and they do geometry together. She is an amazing math teacher, and that is a huge gift to us because it allows her to get that time out of the house. She's learning from somebody else, and it's really great. It's great to share your talents, share your gifts, and if you are gifted in a particular area, share that with the other moms. So that is really my 4th tip, is just share your experiences, your talents, and if you can co-op or be in a group where you share, if you need that, I recommend it. If you don't have groups in your area, a lot of times the libraries have tutors. So if you go to your public library and tell them, oh, my kid needs a tutor in this particular thing, and it's better to pay for tutoring than realize that you missed algebra concepts 1 through 10 at lesson 20 to 30, because it's way easier to get those basics to begin with. English is another thing. If you have trouble with mechanics, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade English can be really challenging because there's a lot of diagramming sentences and there's a ton of mechanics. So getting those mechanics down packed early will make your high school composition a lot easier, as well as your languages. So having those things in mind and looking for help if you need it, and don't feel ashamed. Everybody needs help in particular areas, and there will be other moms and dads reaching out to you. My 5th and final tip is, if things are not going well, take a week off and reset. If you realize that you are super stressed, if you are having a really, really hard time, if it is not going well for you, take a week off. Go to daily mass, take a week off, pray, and come back to it. There is no set schedule for homeschooling. There is no reason why you have to take breaks when the schools take breaks or take times. 7 a.m. to noon is great. Great, that's your school schedule. You don't have to do this 9 to 3 school time if that does not work for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Do what works for you. And if it's not working, stop, take a break, take a week off, give the kids a break. You can call it any break. You can call it I'm stressed break. But take that break and relax. Plan ahead and take that time off. I have, in fact, started school early. When we had Eli, we knew I was going to be due in April, and I think we only took 1 week break, and that was in December. So we started school a little bit early, only took 1 week off, and then we were able to finish school before he was born. He was born on April 10th. So we actually ended up finishing a month early. And that was great because it enabled us to be really relaxed when we brought home a new baby. And I did not come home and worry about finishing up school because I knew I had it done. The same with if you know that you're going to take a long Christmas break and you were going to go school into July. I have a lot of friends in Florida who have played around with doing school over the summer versus taking a summer break, taking a winter break, because take school off a different time of year. You are not obliged to follow that calendar year or start or end dates, and that is the beauty of homeschooling. You do your own calendar just so long as you finish your weeks and abide by your state regulations. There's a lot of different takes on this, and I will give this as a bonus. So I said 5 tips, I'm gonna give you kind of a bonus. The bonus is that you check out what your state regulations are and you fulfill those. In our state, it goes by county. So in Florida, you go by your county, and my county asks for a letter stating that you're going to homeschool, and at the end of the year, a letter from a teacher or the school that says that you have completed your year and the kid is on grade level, the kids. And knowing what those rules are going into it is really important, not realizing that you didn't follow them later on. I love Seton because they actually will take and send the report stating that each kid is on grade level to the schools. So I don't even have to think about that. I send Seton the letter, okay, my kid needs their letter showing that they've completed, for Jake, 3rd grade, for example, and they send that directly to the county and it's all done. And I don't have to think about it, worry about it. It's from a teacher. It shows he's done his work and I'm all good. So I hope this helped you with homeschooling. Feel free to comment down below, comment with anything that you might need. I hope that your homeschooling year, if you decide to do it, is really great. Don't be scared based on COVID schooling. If this was your first time homeschooling, don't be scared. Don't be scared of what it looked like. Take it easy, relax, and know that you can have a really beautiful year if it's planned out and it's what you want it to be. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. You can hit that bell and you'll know when we post. I have other homeschool videos in homeschool playlists, and you can check out all the other moms' homeschool videos down below. They're really amazing, and they all come from different perspectives with different tips for you. So I hope you check them out and enjoy them. And as always, I hope you're wholly happy and healthy. God bless.